Good morning, students. This paper, this video is on the paper literary forms, the final unit novel. Okay, and this unit is already discussed by me in the previous semester. The first unit of the paper fiction is going to be the last unit of our paper literary forms. So I already gave you the study material in the previous semester itself. Actually I myself discussed the unit in detail. I took 2 months to discuss this unit. So therefore I am not going to discuss in detail the overview of this unit. I'm just going to revise this unit. Okay. And after that, some common or most important topics are there in some general topics are there in literary forms. And in our textbook, some more advanced recent theories in literary criticism are given, and we will discuss that. And with that, the portion for the syllabus for this paper, literary forms, is also over. So already translation studies is over, and now there is one more unit, and with that we will wind up this paper also as soon as possible. Okay, probably by next week I will be able to complete it, and with that everything is over. Okay. So what is a novel? A novel may be defined as a long narrative in prose detailing the action of fictitious people. Okay, a long narrative in prose. So it should be long, and it should be in prose, and it should convey a story. Okay, so that is the most important feature of a novel. And who are all the experts defined a novel? Meredith calls it summing of actual life. Fielding calls it epic in prose. The novel is a loose form of art, and that enables it to give a fuller and more varied representation of real life character than any other form of literature. See, a novel is an epic in prose. So epic poetry, it also conveys a story, but in poetry form. But this one is in prose form, and that's what Fielding defines. The Fielding defines epic in prose, and Meredith calls summing of actual life. Meredith defines a novel as presenting the actual life, real characters, real personalities of life. Okay, and the most important difference between novel and drama is novel is meant to read privately, but and drama is meant to be staged in public, for public. Okay, so that is the most difference between a novel and a drama. And and other features of novel. The novel combines description, history, philosophy, poetry, fantasy, social criticism, and a particular view of life. Okay, see, though it is a story and imaginary story, and a long story in prose, the novel can have history and detailed description, philosophy, poetry, fantasy. It may convey a philosophy. The novel may convey a philosophy, and in between novel, prose lines could also be written, and there could be some fantasy elements and social criticism, and the novelist's particular view of life. Everything is included as novel. So it is not about only prose and fictitious story. These elements can also be included in a novel. And therefore there are, in a novel there are 6 elements. The first one is the plot, second one is a character, third one is the dialogue, the fourth one is scene and time of action, fifth one is style, and sixth one is view of life. The plot is the story, actions and incidents. So there are 2 types of plots, organic and episodic. So organic, all the incidents are interrelated. Okay, one incident is related to another one. See Jane Eyre or even Mansfield Park. One incident is related to another incident. Okay, and if we delete a character or a chapter, then readers will not be able to understand. That is called as organic plot. And episodic plot, a character's life is presented in episode form. Okay, and for example, any picaresque novel, Tom Jones by Henry Fielding. Tom Jones moves from one place to another place, and in one place he faces lots of adventure and problem, and from that he moves to another place. In another place also he faces lots of problem and meets lots of character. And if we delete a character or a chapter, if we delete the protagonist visit to one particular place, the construction of novel is not going to be destroyed. Readers will be able to understand what happens. Okay, so that is the example of episodic. Okay, so the protagonist's life is presented in episode form. If we delete one episode, there is no problem. But in case of organic plot, if we delete a character or dialogue or even a word, the whole structure of the novel is collapsed. Okay, so the plot is divided as the organic plot and the episodic plot. And the next one is characterization. And I already told you, even you can write in the as important feature of a novel, though it is not given in the book. So characterization is the most important feature of a novel. We will be able to know what character thinks, what are the features of a character. Everything can be known only by a novel. Of course, in poetry and dramatic monologue, we can understand a particular character, but above poetry, a novel is the best genre of presenting the character. Okay, so if the characterization is good, then naturally the novel is also going to be a great novel. Okay, so characterization, what the character thinks and what kind of character is this, everything is beautifully presented in novel, and therefore it is the most important feature of a novel. And so character is the art of presenting characters alive and real to our imagination. So how the character is presented, what the character thinks, and how the character behave, and everything should be beautifully presented. So that there are two types of characterization. The first one is direct or analytical, and the indirect or dramatic. So direct or analytical, that means that the characterization is presented by usual third person narration. Okay, so there is a character named John. He lives in so city, and he often confuses himself. He is a lazy fellow, but when he is scolded, then he becomes active. So for such kind of detailed description of the character, it is presented in the third person narration. So that is the direct or analytical character and characterization. And the second one, second type of characterization is indirect or the dramatic. Okay, so indirect or dramatic characterization is the character is presented to the readers through from the point of view of another character. That is second person narration. Okay, so that is second person narration could also be called as indirect or dramatic characterization. Okay, say for example in Wuthering Heights, the character Lockwood is narrating the story, and the Lockwood he says, I am going to Wuthering Heights. There I will meet a character called Heathcliff, and he is the owner of Wuthering Heights. I am a tenant to him. Likewise he describes, and Lockwood doesn't tell us his story, but rather Lockwood presents the life history of Heathcliff from his own point of view. From Lockwood's point of view, the story is the life of Heathcliff is narrated to other readers. In Wuthering Heights and other novels also, it is presented in such a way. Okay, Lockwood meets the character Heathcliff, and I am interested in the character of Heathcliff. I want to know the life history, what happened in his past, why he is gloomy, and likewise he inquires about Heathcliff from other characters. He follows the character of Heathcliff. What does he do, and what kind of activities he is doing, and Lockwood observes life of protagonist, and then he presents to the readers. Okay, from his point of view, the readers know the life history of Heathcliff. So this is example of dramatic or indirect characterization. And the third one is dialogue. Dialogue is another most important element in a novel, and the dialogue reveals the passion and emotions of characters and advances the moment of the plot. So when there are many characters in a novel, naturally there should be dialogue. As far as dialogue is concerned, drama is the best genre of literature, and if you want to present great dialogues, drama is always going to be the best genre. But at the same time, in a novel also dialogues matters a lot. Dialogue is also absolutely important element in a novel. And the next element is time and setting. Okay, so time and setting is another most important element in a novel. So what do you mean by time and setting? So the plot, the story event, in what place, and at what time the story is taking place. So the story is taking place in 1840. The story is taking place in 2010. And where is the place? At what place this story is happening? So such kind of description should be given, especially the place. Okay, so the story is taking place in Pondicherry. The description, land description of Pondicherry should be dealt. Usually, in most of the novel, the first 3 chapters are dedicated to description of the place itself. Okay, so in this place only the story is taking place, so that the readers will be able to understand the scenario and setting of the place and time and so if 2 characters are talking, if the characterization is presented in this age, in this place, such kind of incident is happening. If there is no such kind of description, and readers cannot understand where see, if there is a character, the character's name, place. Say for example, if you are asked to introduce yourself, you have to introduce your name and your education qualification, from where you come from, your family members. Then only the interviewer will be able to understand. Okay, you are so and so. And likewise, if the novel is presenting a character, where does the character live, and what kind of place is it? Such kind of detailed description should be given by a novelist. Therefore, it should be the most important. It should be another element in a novel. See, if it is a campus novel, that naturally all the incidents should take place in a college or in a school. So description of a school, description of the campus should be dealt. If it is a military or war novel, the description of the place, war ambience, everything should be dealt. Okay, so therefore it is another important element in a novel. And then the final one is one's viewpoint. Okay, so whether the novel is doing consciously or unconsciously, naturally it becomes another element in a novel. The novelist idea about life, his view about life. So life is happy, life is optimistic, life is pessimistic, life is this is the reality. Likewise, the novelist may consciously or unconsciously present his own point of life. Okay, so this is another element. How far he presented his point of view about life is said to be naturally the most important element in a novel. Okay, so that's about what is novel. The novel in English. Okay, so the history of English novel. Let's say Actually, it's going to be reading many important novels in history of English literature and why it is the most important novel. Okay, it is this topic is almost going to be simply a reading of this topic. So, novel in English. The novel proper in English literature began in 18th century, but the rudiments of novel could be seen even in Chaucer's conception of a gallery of characters in the Canterbury Tales. Several Elizabethan writers wrote prose fiction which laid the foundation of English novel. Among them most important were John Lilly, who wrote Euphus, and Nash, the author of Unfortunate Traveller. Okay. So, novel is the youngest genre of literature, youngest genre of English literature, not only English literature or even whole of world literature. Novel is the youngest genre of literature. Okay. So, in English, who wrote the first novels? Let's say it began even Chaucer's Canterbury Tales. Okay, even Chaucer's Canterbury Tales. The Canterbury Tales written by Chaucer has a feature of a novel also. Though it is today we call it as poetry, but it also has features of a good novel. Okay, most of the lines are written poetry, and I'd say half of the lines are written poetry, half of the lines are written in prose. Okay, so Chaucer wrote Canterbury Tales in such a way, and it has some elements and features of a novel also. Okay, and then John Lilly wrote Euphus, and Nash also wrote The Unfortunate Traveller. Though today we consider it as a great prose work, but they also have the features of, have the elements of a novel. Okay, and today, but we don't consider them as a typical novel. But then in 1678, John Bunyan wrote The Pilgrim Progress. That book also has the features, has the elements of a great novel. And at the same time, John Bunyan's The Pilgrim Progress cannot be considered as a novel. Daniel Defoe's Defoe's Robinson Crusoe is considered as the first English novel. The first English novel. Okay, and then Jonathan Swift, Gulliver's Travel is also considered to be a novel, a great novel. Okay, and so with them, English novel developed, and but Samuel Richardson, the author of Pamela, Samuel Richardson wrote the Pamela, and it was he who identified that novel is a separate genre of literature. We cannot include a novel as a prose genre. So novel is a complete genre. It should be detached from prose. Such claim is first claimed by Samuel Richardson with the book Pamela. Okay, so it is like episodes of letters, and by reading the letters we can understand that it presented a beautiful story. Okay, so that is with Pamela, English novel developed, and Henry Fielding developed this genre novel in a perfect way. He perfected the art of writing novel, and that's why Henry Fielding is called the father of English novels. Okay, and his novels, Joseph Andrews, Tom Jones, are said to be they are the greatest novels in history of English literature. And Smollett and Sterne, they are also said to be another greatest novelist. And Smollett wrote Roderick Random, Peregrine Pickle, and Sterne wrote Tristram Shandy. So these novels are the greatest novel in history of English literature. And then Audio Goldsmith also wrote The Vicar of Wakefield. And the first female novelist was Fanny Bronte. The novelist Evelina, Evelina, in 1778. Okay. By that time, the genre novel became very popular among common people. And then in 19th century, the novel is much developed. Various genres of novels developed. Gothic. The Gothic novel also developed in English literature, and Horace Walpole was the first Gothic novelist, and then Jane Austen wrote many domestic novels, and then Walter Scott wrote historic novels like Waverley, Ivanhoe, Talisman, and Kenilworth are famous historic novels. And Jane Austen, she wrote Pride and Prejudice, Emma, and Mansfield Park, Persuasion, Sense and Sensibility, and she wrote domestic novels. All her novels proved to be great success. And then the sisters, the Bronte sisters, Charlotte Bronte and Emily Bronte, they wrote Jane Eyre, which you studied, and Jane Eyre, Wuthering Heights are said to be the greatest novels of English literature. And in Victorian age, Charles Dickens is the greatest novelist in history of English literature. He presented the society as it is. Okay, and some of his novels have the features of autobiography. He added autobiographical elements in his novel. And Charles Dickens, David Copperfield, Great Expectation, Nicholas Nickleby, A Tale of Two Cities are the greatest novel. And he presented the society as it is. He presented the evils of society in a naturalistic way, in a realistic way, and people literally cried after reading his novels. And Thackeray is also considered to be the greatest novelist, and his Vanity Fair is a masterpiece, and it is the greatest novel of social criticism. Okay, and then George Eliot, a female novelist, and she presented religion, politics, moral, and she also wrote a philosophical novel and psychological novel. Okay, and then George Eliot's greatest novel, The Egoist, The Ordeal of Richard, and slowly and steadily in the beginning of modern age, Stream of Consciousness novel were written in English literature. And before that, Thomas Hardy, a pessimistic novelist, and he also proved to be the greatest novelist in history of English literature. The Return of the Native, The Mayor of Casterbridge are said to be the greatest novels. And then the Stream of Consciousness novels were written by Henry James, James Joyce. Henry James' novel, The Portrait of a Lady, The Golden Bowl, were considered to be the greatest psychological novel. And the psychological novels were written by Charles Kingsley, Anthony Trollope. So they are all said to be great psychological novelists. And when First World War and Second World War, they caused a great havoc, great destruction in human society. And because of that, the writing of concept of writing novels completely changed. And most of the novels focused on Stream of Consciousness novel. And Virginia Woolf's Mrs. Dalloway, James Joyce, Ulysses, the Henry James, The Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man, they are all considered to be the greatest Stream of Consciousness novel. And along with that, H.G. Wells, Arnold Bennett, they also wrote many commercial novels. They are all popular novels. And D.H. Lawrence wrote Sons and Lovers, Women in Love, and Huxley wrote Brave New World from Fellow. They are also said to be great novelists as well as popular novelists. And today novel is proved to be an important genre of literature and popular genre of literature as well. And Somerset Maugham, E.M. Forster, Graham Greene, Charles Morgan, William Golding, so they are all said to be famous novelists, famous modern novelists. not only famous, they are all great novelists who produced great novels in history of English literature. Okay, so that's the end of history of English novels, the novels in English. In the next video, we will discuss various genres of novel. Okay, thank you.